Ask Lou is brought to you by Ace Hardware, delivering helpful hardware service since 1924. Ace, the helpful place.
We got this question from Jason. My house is a bi-level. The front bedrooms are colder than the back master bedroom. If I turn up the heat, the master bedroom gets too hot. Would it harm the furnace in any way to just close the vents in the master bedroom? I grew up in a bi-level house, so I know exactly what you're going through. It's very difficult to get the temperatures consistent in that type of home because the center staircase is like a big piece of ductwork, but you can balance it out by playing with the vents like you're talking about. You see, if you close some of the vents in your master bedroom, you'll force more pressure to those other rooms. Now, you may need to play around with this come summertime with the air conditioning because you want to move that air to different places, but it will not harm the system, and if you do it right, you'll be a lot more comfortable.
Here's a question from Kurt in Minnesota. I wanted to ask your opinion about wood versus vinyl versus carpeting for flooring. Now, I prefer the look and feel of hardwood. My wife mentioned that she had read that hardwood floors would be seen as more of a value-added proposition for a house. Curious if you have the same opinion. Kurt, I agree with your wife, and I suggest you do as well. Remember, happy wife, happy life. But she is right about wood adding value. It's the type of thing that makes a listing sheet when you go to sell the house. You know, close to transportation, has new windows, real hardwood floors. And remember this, hardwood flooring is the only renewable flooring you can put inside your home. If you put vinyl or carpeting, that's going to wear out over time, and then you have to replace the whole thing. 10 years down the line, when this floor maybe looks a little tired, you can get someone in there to resand it all for a fraction of the cost, and it'll look like new. And now there's all kinds of options. Oak, maple, cherry, bamboo. Put this in your home and you're gonna love it. Here's a question from Vivian in New York. My electric flat top stove has 2 burners that have turned blacker under the stovetop. It's showing through the top level. Is there anything that can be done for this problem? Well, Vivian, there is a chance that you can correct this problem, but it all depends on who made the cooktop and how it was manufactured. You want to go ahead and kill the electricity that feeds the cooktop, then remove the cooktop to expose the burners underneath. You see, those are attached to the bottom side of that glass, either with clips or screws, and you want to see if they can be removed so the burners can pull away. Once all of those burners are removed, you can use a little Scotch-Brite pad and some cleaner to clean the underside of the cooktop. Then let it dry, put the burners back, and it should look fine.
Oh, Mary likes us on Facebook. Mary, I like you too. I don't think the exhaust fan is working properly in our downstairs bathroom. When you turn it on, there is definite noise, but paint is peeling on the walls due to the exhaust fan not working right. As a matter of fact, I just checked it and it won't even go on. So obviously it needs to be replaced. My question is, how do you figure out if the vent itself is clogged, and how do you figure out where it vents to? All right, well, Mary, when it comes to fans, it's all about cubic feet per minute. That's the CFM rating on a fan. You want something that has at least 100 CFMs to move that air. Now, how do you know if the fan works? Well, when it's on, you take a piece of paper like this, tissue paper napkin, and you hold it up near the fan. If it sucks it up and holds it, then you know it's drawing. Now, yours obviously doesn't work. Once you take the old one down, you'll see the pipe. You should be able to trace with a flashlight to find out where it's going. Make sure that it's vented all the way out, either through the roof or through a soffit vent, but literally on a vent going all the way outside, because if it just dumps up into the attic, that can create a mildew and mold problem, which is something you definitely don't want in your home.
Here's a question from Kathy in Indiana. I have this cauliflower-like growth on my basement walls and want to know how to remove it and keep it off. Painting did not work. Please refer my question to the correct department. Kathy, thank you for contacting House Smarts. You've reached the correct department. This is the Ask Lou portion of the show. Now, I'm going to assume that this cauliflower-type growth you're talking about is on your basement concrete walls. And if we're going to go with that assumption, I want to know if you have an opportunity to actually pressure wash those walls, if you have a floor drain somewhere, because if you do, you could rent or buy a small electric pressure washer and then get a cleaner like this. They have these cleaners you can buy at the hardware store that you can mix in with the pressure washer to apply it to the surface and then blast it clean. You're going to get in all those nooks and crannies where that organic matter is inside and growing. Then once you blast it all away and you allow it to dry for several days, then you can come back and prime it all with a stain-killing primer like this. If you do that, the only place you're going to have cauliflower is with dinner.